Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where the WrestleMania card is made up and the ratings don't matter. It's lost to the Midcard. Welcome to what Michael Cole likes to call the penultimate version of Lost to the Midcard before WrestleMania. That means the second to last edition of Lost to the Midcard. Thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. What you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard, hit subscribe, and you will be ready to know every time a new episode comes your way, typically most Thursdays and also Mondays after a WWE pay-per-view. And a shout out to the owner of SpiderDuck.net, Trevor Oz. He will make his return to Lost in the Midcard next week as we do our WrestleMania roundtable. Hopefully we'll get Charles Shane involved too and have ourselves a wild and crazy time. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube, and the links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/lostinthemidcard. I am your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers. As always, joining me on the show, on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime, it is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
Better than Anthem's going to be when they go to court in a couple days.
Delete!
They're in so much trouble, dude.
What kind of what kind of trouble would you say they're in?
They just continue to bury themselves and make the case easier and easier for Rebby and Matt to destroy these guys. And I'm telling you, if this doesn't get settled before they sign their WWE contracts, and they then have to deal with WWE in court,
good luck.
Anthem might as well just sell their library to the company and consider themselves obsolete.
I cannot wait for the news to drop on this, and yeah, let's wait until WWE signs them. Yeah, then Vince's high-paid lawyers can just run Ed Nordholm into the ground. That'd be great.
It's gonna happen, dude.
For the first time in a long time, it's not just Matt and I. We are joined by a special guest, a friend of the show. He is on the Twitter at NoOneLikeD. It is Daryl. Daryl, thanks for joining us, man. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well, man. Just looking forward to my blood pressure going up as I go to Mania next week. And, not too happy about the card.
And you have almost the exact same sigh as Matt has on the show, so you'll fit in just well. This is your first WrestleMania, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was my first one last year. The show, I had a different opinion than Matt on the show. I thought it was good. I mean, I didn't think it was like amazing or anything, but I think I didn't leave my seat the entire 6 hours. Thankfully, my girlfriend got me the beers and the food that I needed. It went fast for me. I enjoyed it. So,
I think you were swept up in the spectacle.
Yeah, so
honestly, that'd be my fifth WrestleMania in a row. Yeah. I don't know how we saw two totally different events, but we clearly did.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and of course, the night before we were treated to Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn. That was an okay match, wasn't it?
Okay. I need to Kinshasa you in the head right now.
That was called sarcasm, by the way, when I just said okay. Uh-huh. Well,
okay.
We've got, we weren't expecting to talk about this because, well, this didn't drop until right around NXT.
Hours ago?
Like right around NXT, when NXT aired, I think. I saw my good buddy John Canton from TGR Wrestling put it up on his Facebook page, and I'm like, oh, what? And I click on it, and, well, it's from a reputable source because our friends at Pro Wrestling Sheet have reported that there are secret talks between two companies, the WWE and Sinclair Broadcast Group. For those that don't know what that means, they own Ring of Honor. And the rumor is there's a potential Ring of Honor buyout on the way Pro Wrestling Sheet says multiple sources with direct knowledge tell them that companies have been talking since January and things have been slowly progressing with the plan to be a full takeover if the deal is made official. This would include the weekly TV show beginning to air on the WWE Network. No word at this point whether every wrestler on the roster would continue working in ROH if it happens. Keep in mind, there's no actual deal on the table right now, and discussions are simply that. This just means that the buyout can fall through if both sides cannot agree on specifics. Matt, holy shit. What in the what in the hell just happened here?
Well, it certainly caught me off guard. But I'll tell you right now, if WWE is seriously interested in talents like Jay Lethal and the Young Bucks, and they don't want to wait for another 2 years from their newly signed Ring of Honor contracts to get them,
I'll just buy them.
Buying out the company right out will be an easy way to do it.
Holy crap.
And I would like to point out that it probably isn't a coincidence that just mere days ago, John Cena, in his very weird Instagram account,
what did he post?
Posted a picture of Jay Lethal.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. He just signed a new 2-year deal to Ring of Honor. I don't know why he's teasing a Jay Lethal rival to the company. And then this comes out tonight.
Hey, Matt,
it makes a lot more sense than I thought.
Did you see what Jay Lethal tweeted this morning?
I did not. What did he tweet?
He tweeted at John Cena, next time you post me on your Instagram account, tag me in the photo.
Oh my god. You know what this means? If there is a Ring of Honor buyout, this means we could have we could have Ric Flair managing Jay Lethal. How cool would that be?
Nice.
I don't want to see them do that.
No, but I want to see a segment with Ric Flair and Jay Lethal. It's mandatory. After
I feel like what they could have 2 legitimate developmental territories again, like they had back in the day with like OVW and Deep South. If they have Ring of Honor and NXT on the WWE Network and they get together like once a year and do a Ring of Honor versus NXT show, I think that would be fucking awesome. The main thing you got to do is you can't, if you're going to buy Ring of Honor, clearly they want the tape library. Clearly they want some of the people there that are currently under contract. If you're going to do this, you can't change what Ring of Honor is. You're just going to alienate their fan base.
Yeah.
So you got to keep Ring of Honor what Ring of Honor is. I think if you put Triple H in charge,
which he probably would be,
I don't think that would really be that far of a stretch, and I think he'd probably be able to. Oh my God! I guarantee you, I know what's going to fucking happen.
What's up,
dude? If they buy Ring of Honor, they're just going to put Gabe Sapolsky in charge of it.
Oh yeah.
Triple H is just going to put him back in charge of the company he used to own.
Mm-hmm. That could. Be.
And the whole deal. Oh my God! I can't believe I just thought of that right now. That's exactly what they're going to do.
Because they're buddy with Evolve. So
exactly, Triple H will just put Gabe in charge of Ring of Honor, and it'll be under the umbrella of the WWE.
What blows my mind is
they would use that as a talent pool, just like they use for NXT right now.
What blows my mind is the fact that they're going to keep the weekly television show going on the network, which is mind blowing. I wonder.
It's genius. It's just another reason to buy the network. Ring of Honor's Ring of Honor's tape library alone, along with new weekly television, is just yet another reason why. $9.99 for the WWE Network is the best value in everything they do.
And later on in headlines, I'm going to give you some good news about something I've been preaching on this show for 2 years. We'll get to that later.
I know you're super happy about it.
But that blows my mind. When you think that they're going to buy out Ring of Honor, the first thing that crosses your mind is, oh, they're done. No, they want to keep it going. They want to make it OVW. They want to make it Southpaw Regional Wrestling. It's mind-blowing. Daryl, do you watch Ring of Honor at all?
I sure do. Matt and I actually go to all the shows when they come to Baltimore.
Nice. Is that where, are you from the Baltimore area or around that area?
I'm actually from D.C., but I live closer to Baltimore, so
cool.
I just catch them when they come up here for the most part.
Man,
I think there's a very good chance we'll be heading up there on April 7th.
Who are some of your favorite acts in Ring of Honor right now, Daryl?
Of course, the Young Bucks. I'm pretty good friends with Chris Nana, which is pretty cool. But Adam Cole is pretty much my guy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Adam Cole, baby. It is so funny.
So you have to go April 7th because it's probably the last time we're going to get to see Adam Cole appear in a Ring of Honor wrestling ring.
I know. I know.
Yeah, last year Matt was thankfully free. My girlfriend said that's just too much wrestling, so I had an extra ticket for Ring of Honor and for the Super Card of Honor, and beforehand a little meet and greet, and I'll go over some of the details of this year's Super Card of Honor. They're going to do a few different things than they did last year, which is going to be pretty cool.
I'm so pissed off about this year though, because like my intentions was to go to Super Card of Honor and NXT Takeover. Now they're the same day. I'm just like, what the hell?
Yeah, and they're so far apart. The Orlando layout is terrible.
Yeah, I don't know where Lakeland. I don't know how far Lakeland is.
40 minutes. Matt posted it. I was like 40 minutes outside of Orlando.
Oh man, that's insane.
Yeah. It's everything's like really far apart.
It was so funny though.
They have a bus that's going back and forth, a shuttle that's taking you to Lakeland from Orlando.
Oh.
I guess that's not too bad then, but I'm sure that bus ain't cheap.
No. Last year, right before the Super Card of Honor show, got to spend a little money and do meet and greets and get things autographed. And it's kind of funny. I got my picture with Adam Cole, and I'm wearing a Bullet Club T-shirt. Who knew a few months later, Adam Cole would be joining the Bullet Club. But, Adam Cole is one of my favorites. Dalton Castle is one of my favorites. Just... it's such a unique character. His strength in the ring is amazing. It's pretty cool that, holy shit, this might be... I mean, imagine, like, just guys of today. You're going to get Kevin Steen. You're going to get the El Generico stuff. You're going to get some of the old Samoa Joe stuff. It's mind-blowing.
AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan,
Tyler Black,
Seth Rollins. Exactly.
I've got a Bryan
Cesaro.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna have so much backlog footage from this library alone, from their current crop of talent. It's gonna be profitable to WWE right off the bat.
No kidding.
But what does that do with the relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling? I wonder.
That is an excellent question, because I guarantee you New Japan ain't gonna be working with fucking TNA.
No.
But New Japan's also choosing to run their first ever shows in the United States this year in July in Los Angeles. So maybe New Japan's already looking ahead to doing their own thing in the States instead of leaning on Ring of Honor to sell their shows.
Plus, there's there's talk that the Access TV show with Jim Ross and Josh Barnett doing play-by-play. There's talk of them having a lot quicker turnaround time with what's going on in New Japan, and that now I didn't realize they were going to be in the States here. Now that makes a lot of sense if that rumor is true. New Japan may be looking to expand, and TNA's with Pro Wrestling Noah right now, so that probably won't happen. I don't think the WWE and New Japan are enemies, so to speak.
No, they're clearly not enemies, because it's the only national promotion that WWE acknowledges on their weekly television programming.
Exactly. And oh god, imagine Bullet Club actually being in the WWE now.
Whew.
They could use Bullet Club with if they decide to partner up with Ring of Honor still, if that's still a feasible thing. Obviously, we're thinking way down the road. Well, this has not happened yet, but Matt, do you hope it happens?
Part of me does, and part of me doesn't. The one thing I will tell everybody right now, the fact that this information is out there could kill this deal dead.
Mm-hmm.
WWE, or Ring of Honor for that matter, one or both companies are not going to like the fact that this secret discussion that's been going on for the past 3 months is now public knowledge. I think it probably hurts both sides of the deal, and I think now that the information is out there without a deal being done and in place, this deal could blow up and it could never happen.
Mm-hmm.
But, in the wrestling business, after all these years, I still got to go back to with the never say never tagline. and honestly, just some of the talents that WWE could get a hold of by buying this company out, War Machine, Jay Lethal, the Young Bucks, Adam Cole, et cetera, et cetera. I just think right now, to me, it's a no-brainer for WWE to make this move, because not only does it strengthen the WWE Network, it strengthens their overall roster, and it basically takes the number 2 national company in the United States right now and makes it a WWE brand. Mm-hmm. So then you've got WWE, you've got Ring of Honor, you got NXT, and then you got little TNA down there at the bottom, whining and crying, trying to file lawsuits against the Broken Hardys.
And don't forget about 205 Live and the UK division, which is going on tour soon too.
Yeah, but I don't really call either of those promotions per se.
No,
I consider NXT its own brand, its own touring identity.
It is the goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not there yet, but it is the goal.
I know they say that's the goal, but I could see the Cruiserweight division touring with NXT on the road. I can't see the Cruiserweight division holding their own house shows. I can't see that happening. I don't think the popularity is there enough for that division to run its own bunch of small shows nationwide. I don't see that being in the cards for them right now.
Some sad news in the wrestling world. Jan Ross, the wife of Hall of Famer Jim Ross, passed away tonight. Just a few hours ago, it was released, actually on Twitter by Jim Ross. Jan was involved in an accident while she was riding her Vespa to the gym, was struck by another vehicle. Jan was not wearing a helmet at the time and suffered multiple skull fractures and was rushed to immediate surgery. This all happened 2 days ago on the 20th. And so our thoughts go out to Jim Ross and friends and family of the Rosses there.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's absolutely awful.
Yeah. I can't imagine what Jim's going through right now for all this to suddenly happen over the course of 48 hours. Let's pick it up a little bit and go on a little lighter note. We mentioned this on the show that never aired last week, thanks to. I should have just released it. It would have been interesting, people listening to it, because for some reason I figured. Thanks to Mike Johnson at PW Insider, by the way, for giving me the tip of what might have caused it, because the same thing happened to him and Dave Scheer when they did their Fastlane post show, but. I used Pamela for Skype to record our conversations, and somehow the microphone was changed to the internal one on the computer. So we did the long show, 2.5 hours. It was
like a 2.5 hour show.
And all it is
that you guys will never hear because it's just me talking to myself.
Yes, it's Matt listening to me, but you can't hear me, and then Matt talks, but you can hear Matt. So yeah, unfortunately, that 2.5 hours was wasted. But hey, at least Matt.
If you guys actually want to hear a really weird one-sided loss in the main card,
he
deleted it. Well, never mind. I was going to tell you to tell us on Twitter that you wanted it, but he deleted it.
Delete. I was so pissed.
You weren't the only one.
Yeah, so I deleted the son of a bitch. So we mentioned last week on the show that didn't air that there's a little trailer for Southpaw Regional Wrestling. We thought maybe this was the newest WWE Network show, but actually it was just a series of 4 YouTube videos ranging around 5 to 10 minutes apiece. Basically a parody of the Southern Territorial Wrestling days on television. Matt, what were your thoughts on Southpaw Regional Wrestling?
Absolutely fucking fantastic.
Agreed.
I laughed throughout the entire thing. Everybody played their parts extremely well. Every character was immediately recognizable to me, with the exception of the sea creature in episode 4. I don't know who the sea creature was. I know who everybody else was. But dude, it was just some funny shit, and it just goes to show you when they let the characters just have fun, and be themselves, and they're not restricted by Vince McMahon's terrible booking. They can create some really entertaining stuff. John Cena was funny as hell.
Oh my god!
In all of those episodes,
he had that Southern dialect down to a T. It was great. I can't remember the guys off the top of my head, but go back on the network and watch Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and you'll get it. You'll see where John, and then Fandango is his co-host, Chet Cheddarfield, who's just drunk all the time and balding, and oh my god, that was hilarious.
What about Clint Bobski?
Clint Bobski.
I'm literally a new fan of Chad Too Bad right now.
Chad Too Bad. He makes
Too Bad.
Chad Too Bad makes Michael PSA's hair look weak. Chad Too Bad's got the hair going, but Clint Bobski, played by Chris Jericho, over the top, annoying interviewer with loud ass suits. I loved it. Chad Too Bad was Carl Anderson. Were they a tag team and now they're feuding? Is that what they kind of said?
It seemed like they came in as a tag team and then they split up. And poor Tex Ferguson kept getting jumped by random wrestling names from the 80s.
Greg Valentine came to his house.
Broke his arm.
Had him in an arm bar for 2.5 hours.
It was just fantastic stuff. Tyler Breeze is the banker. Rusev is the farmer.
Lana. Lana, you lost your accent.
Yeah, it was really well done. I love when WWE does stuff like that because sometimes you don't need to take yourself too seriously to be entertaining. And, I just thought the entire thing was really well done, and I would love to see Lethal Leap Year.
Oh my god!
I don't care if that date didn't exist.
I didn't even think about it until they.
Oh, you're right. There was no leap year.
You guys forgot about the funniest person, the Ric Flair impersonator.
Oh my! I was getting to that here in just a minute. On every one of the 4 episodes, there was a commercial break for Kentucky Fried Chicken where you could meet some of your favorite Southpaw Regional Wrestling fans and eat with them. And reading the advertisement was a paid Ric Flair impersonator who was played by who?
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair. He also had Impressive Pelvis Wesley. That's a hard name to say. Heath Slater playing an Elvis character. That was pretty good. The Surf Dudes with Attitudes. Clearly, that was John Laurinaitis inspired, as the Ascension played those guys. There was John Cone, the referee. He was a referee in this one. Chip Henderson. John Johnson is the Southpaw Regional Wrestling Champion, and he was played by T.J. Perkins. And then Mr. McElroy, who was the banker, Tyler Breeze. He was supposed to fight Big Bartholomew, who was Rusev, or at least that's who Rusev thought he was fighting. But no, here comes Sea Creature, who, if you're a fan of the 8-bit Nintendo Pro Wrestling video game, you'll get the reference there. The guys on Reddit think it might be Corbin, maybe Swagger, or Orton. Some think, it could be Vince McMahon for all we know.
It could have been, legitimately, it could have been anybody in that suit.
We got to do some digging to see who Sea Creature was. Daryl, what were your thoughts on Southpaw Regional Wrestling?
I just think it was just freaking hilarious. I'm like, just like Matt said earlier, when you let them have fun and show the talent of who they really are, it's just crazy. It just shows they have a sense of personality, and you don't always have to be about business. Like Chris Jericho and John Cena fit in perfectly because they just have crazy sense of humor. It was just all around. I just kept watching their work, just dying laughing. I had to close the door in my office because it was so loud.
I think there's hope for this to be a show on the network.
I know they're releasing a T-shirt on WWE Shop.
So
I think if that T-shirt sells, I think we could get more of this.
I need a Chad Too Bad T-shirt.
Oh, early this afternoon, I think it might have been the first one I was looking at. I'm not 100% sure which one I was looking at, but one of the Southpaw videos that was out there on YouTube, it had 10,000 thumbs up to under 1,000 thumbs down. I mean, a 10-to-1. It was an overwhelming positive response.
Are you sure you're not talking about the Miz and Maurice invitation video?
Oh, maybe I'm talking about that one. Yeah,
because that's the one you sent me with that big thumbs up, thumbs down ratio. I can go check Southpaw's ratings on the gimmick right now, but I would imagine they've done, really well for the company. Like when I was looking at them just on the day one they came out, I was like, wow, that's a lot of views for this short of a time. So let me see if I can see it.
Yeah, they're sitting at about 700,000 views. Oh my God, it's even bigger than the Miz and Maurice's Total Bellas parody. Episode 1 has over 20,000 likes and only 430 dislikes. It's even bigger.
Yeah, and the view count on these are huge.
Yeah, first episode's about 700,000. Man, it's insane. So I think I think that this is gonna be one of those things that takes off. I think so. We got some news on some inductees into who's inducting who into the WWE Hall of Fame. Actually, a bunch of them came out over this week. First off, we'll start with Beth Phoenix, and it was announced today that Natalya would be inducting her into the Hall of Fame. I think, Matt, didn't we kind of speculate that was
I called this one. Like, this one just made sense. Mm-hmm. She's already with the company. They were the Pinup Strong tag team. They are, like, legitimately best friends. So it made perfect sense for Natty to induct Beth in.
DDP, we thought maybe Jake the Snake and Scott Hall would be good ones, but I still think who they chose is a good choice with Eric Bischoff. He will be inducting DDP into the Hall of Fame. You okay with that one?
Let's be fair. If it wasn't for Eric Bischoff, Dallas Page would have never had a wrestling career to begin with. Eric Bischoff gave DDP his chance on the Monday Night Wars to step up and become the character that we all know and love today.
And he didn't even get started until age 35.
Yeah, he was really old when he started wrestling.
Yeah,
he was around the business for a really long time, but he never got his chance until Bischoff gave it to him. So I think that's a hell of an inductee idea. It'll be very interesting to see Eric Bischoff back on WWE television.
Oh, we'll get to another one that's going to be even more interesting.
Yeah, I know. But first, you were saving that one for last.
But first, Teddy Long is going to be inducted by the APA, Ron Simmons and JBL. So another good pairing.
I just want to say fuck JBL, by the way.
Yeah. You want to share on that real quick?
I'm currently reading the Justin Roberts autobiography. It's not supposed to be out until April 1st, but somehow Barnes & Noble made a mistake, and they shipped it to me early. So I got it on Monday, and I'm probably about a third of the way through it right now. And there's a story about JBL in this book, and it's just it's absolutely disgusting. I'll read the snippet right now. Just to give you an idea about the guy JBL is, and if you want to believe or not believe. But this has been said so many times by so many different people. At this point, you got to believe that the guy's a dickhead. Justin Roberts writes in his book, JBL was a fixture in the company in future overseas tours, and I couldn't do anything about it. Every tour he was on for the next few years involved him in his bullying. Every day I saw him, he asked me why I was still alive and told me to kill myself. Sadly, there are some people out there who probably would have been driven to that point had they been faced with the treatment for that long. So that's the commentator on SmackDown, who's unfortunately commentating with a guy who suffers from bipolar depression, and that's probably the reason why he hasn't been at TV for the past 2 weeks. So go fuck yourself, JBL.
Exactly.
I tell it to your face, but you have me blocked on Twitter because you're a little bitch. Whatever.
What'd you do now, or what did you do at the time?
Dude, I don't even remember. I never tweet directly at him. I think he vanity searches his name, and I'm sure there was one night that I buried his fucking commentary because he fucking sucks.
We all know what else he vanity searches too.
Yeah, fucking pervert.
How fucking epic was that? Inducting Kurt Angle into the Hall of Fame will be none other than John Cena. Obviously, Kurt Angle gave John Cena the rub, and then ever since then, John Cena grabbed a shovel. But I think
this is the worst inductee of all of them.
I think Stone Cold would have been a good one. I think Stone Cold would have been a good one. Dixie Carter would have been another one. Just kidding.
Wow.
I think the best person they could have had induct him, and it would have been like pulling teeth to get him to do it, would have been Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
I think Brock would have been the best person to induct him, but I don't think Brock wanted to do it. So, what can you do at that point?
Yeah, they replayed that shooting star press, and where Brock didn't know where he was at the end of the match. Still, for him to do that and still land an F5 is amazing. And finally, the Rock and Roll Express are going to be inducted by none other than Jim E. Cornette. Matt, what do you think of that one?
Well, according to Jim Cornette, hell is officially frozen over. So, I can't wait to hear his induction. I was already excited about this class going in because it's so much better than last year's.
Yeah.
But I'm even more excited now about all these people that are inducting these guys. I think this is going to be one of the best class speeches we've gotten in many years, and I can't wait to watch it. Are you going to the Hall of Fame, Daryl?
I'm thinking about it because I'm getting there Thursday evening and pretty much not doing too much Friday, but I'm seriously thinking about it, considering it, because I'm a big Kurt Angle fan.
Yeah, dude, you should go experience. You since this is your first ever WrestleMania, you should try to experience all of it. Go to the Hall of Fame, go to NXT, go to an Access session, go to Mania, go to Raw. Take in the entire experience, because you never know when you're going to get to do it again.
Absolutely.
The only thing I missed out was the Hall of Fame, but
in the last year's Hall of Fame, I didn't blame you for not going.
Yeah,
because it was Stin in the Job Squad, man. It was not a good Hall of Fame class last year.
Yeah,
to this day, I still haven't watched it.
Instead, I went to eat some barbecue, and then last second decided to go to Jim Ross's one-man show with RVD. So, which started late because they were letting people come over from the Hall of Fame. So, anyways, but Jim Cornette, man, he's a legend. Jim Ross has a great impression of Jim Cornette. He told some great border patrol stories with him and Cornette at that one-man show. But so Cornette's going to be very interesting. It's rare when rumors are killed by people within the WWE, but there had been a rumor going around that Alexa Bliss had heat from WWE management, and so someone tweeted at Road Dogg, and Road Dogg said, no, she's adored by everyone, she's a star and everybody knows it. That's what's wrong with the internet. Hashtag bullshit. And so don't see that too often. And now the thing that broke the internet late last week. Paige posted on her Twitter account that personal and private photos were stolen and fortunately shared publicly without her consent. And sure enough, yes, they not just photos but videos, all sorts of crazy stuff. And yeah, I think the internet was broken, Matt. No pun intended.
Oh, you're so funny.
I see what you did there.
Better watch out. We might get a cease and desist from Anthem and fuck that out.
Oh yeah, on that latest video Impact Wrestling put out, they put the trademark icon next to those names.
Yeah, Broken Matt TM.
Nice.
Like, you guys are fucking out of your damn minds right now. Like, I'm telling you, dude, the second they sign those WWE deals, which I'm hearing could be as soon as WrestleMania weekend when their Ring of Honor deals are up, and they try to go at WWE on this, they're going to get buried. Like, literally and figuratively. They might literally be able to take Anthem out of business if they try to take WWE to court over this.
2 buyouts for the price of 1?
Yeah, well, it could end up being that way if Anthem doesn't back up and shut the fuck up. They are not making themselves look good right now.
Ratings for the week. Speaking of Impact, Impact had a nice rebound. I think word of mouth of a decent debut with the new ownership drove the best ratings since November 3rd. As Impact went up to 344,000. The last time they had that many viewers was November 3rd when they hit 359,000. Monday Night Raw, however, barely held 3 million.
Because everybody found out Roman Reigns was in the main event and 500,000 people tuned out.
We're on the road to WrestleMania and Raw barely breaks 3 million. 3 million.
That's not a good sign.
49,000.
And their ratings weren't bad for hours 1 and 2. It's literally everybody found out that Roman was closing the show and 500,000 people tuned out. This happened a few weeks ago that Roman was closing the show to do the stare down with Strowman for the which led to the Undertaker return, and 500,000 people tuned out.
Actually, in this one, it wasn't that many. It was 300,000.
It was almost 500,000 again.
No, they went from 3.11 to 2.86 for the third hour, so about 300,000.
Still almost 500,000 people.
SmackDown actually increased. Amazingly, I mean, SmackDown is right now, there are some matches that we kind of knew were rumored and they, of course, came to fruition. And they were matches we were groaning about, but yet at the same time, it's been a good build for some of those matches. Case in point, AJ Styles and Shane, and also Miz and Maurice against Nikki Bella and Cena. Those have been great builds. So SmackDown continues to be steady, and maybe they're closing the gap with the Raw again.
I enjoyed SmackDown last night a lot. My only problem was while the show was really good and I enjoyed watching it live as it happened, it did absolutely nothing to get me more excited for WrestleMania, which is like a week and a half away. Yeah. And I really feel like that's all WWE programming should be doing right now, is figuring out ways that make me excited about WrestleMania a week from this Sunday. And I'm just telling you, JB, Daryl, I'm not excited. I'm not hyped.
I'm not either. Like,
yeah, you're going.
But I told you, Matt, a long time ago when I was trying to get you to go. I said the only reason I'm really going because I want to experience Takeover. Of course, Mania is the whole spectacle and everything, and it was pretty much like a prove me wrong from last year. You should make up for what happened last year, although there was no talent.
Right, pal.
But of course, what happens, we get, Shane versus AJ. Come on now. AJ's probably the best wrestler in the whole company right now. But you put him against Shane because
the best wrestler in the world right now.
Pretty much, but then you put him against Shane because Vince thinks anybody in his family in a match is a main event. Fuck that. No.
And that's the problem. Vince thinks this is a great match for AJ. And, I guess long term, that's not a bad thing. If they have a great match, I mean, it's going to look worlds better on AJ going forward by the McMahons and the company if he goes out there and steals the show with Shane. But it's just not a match I'm not looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to a 50-year-old man trying to kill himself because he can't hang in the ring with AJ Styles. Because he can't.
Since Shane has come back to the WWE, and every match, the two matches he literally died in every match. He got killed by Roman at Survivor Series and killed himself at WrestleMania last year when he dove off the cage. I don't want to see him die again.
They're gonna have something crazy planned for Mania. So
pretty much,
yeah, because he already did his trademark elbow table spot on SmackDown. Like, why give that away a week and a half before WrestleMania when you're
because they're doing something else?
Well, yeah, but he did it last year too.
Yeah, but motherfucker, it's like, dude, you're 50 years old. You can do that and break your hip. Coming off and doing that on SmackDown, and then you don't have a match in a week and a half. Be smart about what you're doing in your build. To me, doing that spot on SmackDown was not smart at all.
No.
Yeah, I wrote about it on Sportskeeda. I wrote five matches that would happen if Triple H was booking WrestleMania, and I think I said this before. In hope on the show that Shane brings in Nakamura to face Styles.
Can I just state for the record that I'm very annoyed that we're a week and a half away from this show and Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn aren't on this show?
Yeah.
Like, what was the point of fucking bringing Samoa Joe up if you're not going to give him a goddamn match?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there unless they're going to keep have him face
Dude, if they end up in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, I'm going to fucking punch somebody in the face.
It's supposed to be a 7-hour show. Like, what are you doing? You have 11 matches scheduled already.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. It's weird. Unless Joe's getting involved in the Triple H and Rollins match, and rumor has it that Foley's going to maybe get involved too. I don't know.
Oh God, I hope not, dude. The guy should be out to have his surgery. I've been told he can't take bumps anymore. I've heard if Foley takes one bad bump, it could be it for his health for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't want him out there taking any unnecessary risks at WrestleMania. That just would not be a good thing for him at all. The only shining light about WrestleMania right now is my WrestleMania 9 theory is still very much in play right now.
Yeah.
If we don't see Finn Balor in Philadelphia on Monday night, that fucking thing's happening on WrestleMania next Sunday. They're putting the title on Balor to close the show as a way to get everybody excited and forget about all the other crappy booking they put on the show. If Balor is not on Raw this Monday in Philadelphia, mark my words, he is leaving WrestleMania as the Universal Champion.
God, I hope so, because closing the show with Lesnar or Goldberg winning the title is not going to be a great moment.
I pray to God that that's not the main event.
Well, that's what I'm hearing is closing the show.
Oh, it's Vince.
I will literally walk out and go to my car.
Well, don't, because
Matt might be right.
If I'm right, and you go to your car, you're gonna miss Finn Balor come out after Lesnar beats Goldberg, and you're gonna miss Finn Balor winning the Universal Championship. Because I'm hearing this match is only going to be like 2 or 3 minutes long.
Jesus Christ.
So they're going to go out there and Brock's going to get his win back. And then, by all case and purposes, Finn Balor's going to return to win that fucking title. And if they don't do it at WrestleMania, it's going to happen at Raw the next night. But I think it would make for a much more impactful moment to do it at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It really does.
Finn's going to come back for the title he never lost. And he's going to get it. And it's going to be fucking dope. And honestly, I will forgive everything else that happens on that show in a week and a half if they end that show with Finn Balor standing over Brock Lesnar as the new Universal Champion. I will forgive everything they did.
Yeah, it'll be a badass moment for sure.
JB, you've heard me talk on this show, and I've said it countless times. Anybody that knows me knows how I feel. The lasting image that you can take a show on can forgive a lot of things that you've put on prior. Because the last thing that airs and the last thing you see when you're going off the air is what you remember. And if that's our last moment and the fireworks going off with Finn Balor celebrating with the Universal Championship and Paul Heyman crying buckets over the fallen Brock Lesnar, everybody's going to rave that this was a great WrestleMania, even if the rest of the card wasn't.
Just like
all they need to do is just make one magical moment at the end of the show to save everything else.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah, just like when Seth Rollins cashed in WrestleMania 2 years ago, you know?
Yep, absolutely.
Robbie Hardy has been tweeting lately, if you haven't paid attention.
Living under a rock.
All sorts of fun stuff, but now this is more in regards to, of course, trademarks and such, her latest tweets. Obviously, Anthem's being hush-hush about it, but Rebby sure as hell is not. Here are some of her latest tweets. Update: TNA sent absolutely laughable legal proposal regarding trademark usage and ownership. Sigh. We tried to play nice, truly. Oh well. Fun facts. Senior Benjamin was never signed one piece of paper stating TNA could ever use broadcast or profit from his image or likeness. Probably why you haven't seen him the last 2 weeks. Fun facts. Maxwell was never legally cleared to work or appear on camera. Want to check them TV child labor laws and get back to me, TNA? More fun facts. Nearly every notable attribute that makes broken Matt Hardy was developed by me in a Waffle House. Yummy. A lot more fun facts. Trying to prevent someone from legally making money is torturous interference of business and a huge offense. How about that, C&D? Fun fact, I filed for the broken trademark when all the shady business from JJ and Anthem got back to me weeks before his contract was up. If owning my husband was that important, why not file and apply for, before his contract was up? Or before you found out I did? How about every other former talent still working under their TNA name and gimmick without issue? Wouldn't that look weird in court? Yeah. Samoa Joe.
Yeah, case in point, Bully Ray.
AJ Styles, Bully Ray.
No, but the thing is, what TNA's claim is that the broken Matt Hardy character was developed while he was in TNA, and that's why they own it. Which, case in point, Bully Ray was definitely done while he was in TNA, and that should be the same thing should apply. Yet he's working on the Ring of Honor shows as Bully Ray with absolutely zero interference from them, which makes them look like fucking hypocrites.
The store I've been running for 5+ years, 100% by myself, with my original designs and sole effort and investment. Yeah, they want to cut. The theme song I composed, recorded, graciously allowed them to use gratis when they were having licensing issues with music. They're claiming that too. If the character is TNA's, where are their format sheets? They don't exist. Where are the scripts? Can't be produced, don't exist. And, best part, ready? Surprise! The Hardy Show was behind the scenes recording our entire creative process this whole time. See you soon. Oh yeah, and fuck that owl.
Fuck that owl. For sure.
And it has been noted that the Hardy family has hired legal representation in regards to the situation, but then if they sign with the WWE, game over.
Yeah, because WWE lawyers, they don't play.
Good news! Zack Ryder will be returning to YouTube. He's going to be doing a new web series on WWE's YouTube channel called Z, The True Comeback Story, a follow-up to his original Z, True All Long Island story. So, looking forward to that for sure as Ryder prepares to return to the WWE. Matt, do you know when he's going to be back?
I heard when he went out, I heard it was 6 to 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
And that was back in like December. So I think the earliest he could make it back would be like SummerSlam, okay, which wouldn't be bad at all. You know, you return in your home state, New York.
Yeah, no kidding.
I think that would work out really well for them. All signs point to. I know American Alpha took the titles off the Wyatts, but I'm being told that the plan was for the Hype Brothers to win those tag titles from the Wyatts. They were going to beat Orton and Harper in that feud, and they were going to push that team, and that's why the tag division on SmackDown over the past couple months has kind of not had its place, because who they planned on putting the titles on, well, one of the guys got hurt, so they kind of just went with a plan B, and now we're seeing they're trying to get the tag division back together on SmackDown right now. I'm telling you right now, dude, if the Usos are in the ring and they issue an open challenge at WrestleMania and the fucking Hardys come out, that place is going to explode, because their contracts are up that Saturday, April 1st.
Yep.
And they could, by all case and sign, could appear at WrestleMania on April 2nd and defeat the Usos for the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. They really could break out some amazing surprises next weekend that could actually make me regret not going. But honestly, I'll be happy to get a good show. So, if we get the Hardys and we get Finn Balor winning the title in a week and a half, it's gonna be some great shit. Let me just put it that way. It'll totally make up for Roman Reigns retiring The Undertaker.
This one's interesting. On the next season of The Bachelorette, which debuts in the end of May, you will see a familiar face in the pro wrestling world. Kenny King is going to be on The Bachelorette.
Why the fuck not?
Why not?
Why the fuck not? Get your money, Kenny. Get your money.
Go get that lady. Some details for Supercard of Honor in Lakeland, Florida were released here. April 1st, they're going to announce the addition of the Ultimate Fan Experience. So It's probably something they tested last year with just some meet and greets, and now they're kind of putting it a little more than just that. At the Festival of Honor, fans will be able to meet their favorite champions and stars, including the Young Bucks, Adam Cole, Cody, Dalton Castle, Jay Lethal, Christopher Daniels, Marty Scurll, and Will Ospreay. There will be Q&A sessions throughout the Festival of Honor with your favorite stars. And you can purchase raffle tickets to call a live Women of Honor match or a taped Ring of Honor bout for television with a Ring of Honor announcer. That's how desperate they are for announcers, Matt. You can raffle to be one.
Dude, I'd raffle to call a Mandy Leon Taylor Hendricks match. That would be kind of cool.
Hell yeah.
I bet you would.
You damn right I would.
I'll bet you would.
I ain't got nothing to hide.
So that's some pretty cool stuff there for Ring of Honor. Added to the Supercard of Honor event is Adam Cole taking on the television champion Marty Scurll. Don't expect Cole to win that one either. But they could be bought out by then.
Cole's as good as gone, man.
The complete card has been sent out here by Mike Johnson at PW Insider. We'll have the current Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, the Hardys, losing to the Young Bucks in a ladder match. Christopher Daniels, your Ring of Honor champion, is going to take on Dalton Castle. Cody Rhodes takes on Jay Lethal in a Texas Bull Rope match. The TV champion match we just mentioned. The 6-man tag team champions, the Briscoes with Bully Ray, take on the Gorillas of Destiny with Hangman Page. Will Ospreay and Volador Jr. take on Dragon Lee and Jay White. Kaz takes on Punishment Martinez. And Matt Taven and Vinny Marseglia take on the Beer City Bruiser and Silas Young. Congrats to Katsuyori Shibata, who is the winner of the 2017 New Japan Cup. He defeated Bad Luck Fale from the Bullet Club in the finals, and he announced that he will challenge Okada for the IWGP Championship, Heavyweight Championship. Finally, good news. People at the WWE have been listening to this podcast, obviously. I mean, we've given a lot of proof, haven't we, Matt?
It's pretty clear somebody up there is listening.
And here's some more proof as finally the WWE Network has uploaded episodes of NXT from 2012 and 2013. This is when they went to their current format of a television show where you could see guys like Seth Rollins, The Shield, get their start, the Wyatt family get their start, so on, Big E, so on and so on. Finally, Matt, better late than never, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely better late than never, so...
Edge of Christian's new podcast debuts on March 24th, which is just a couple of days right around the corner. They've announced that their first guest will be Bill Goldberg, so that'll be a big
That'll be
guest.
Interesting.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one, and very excited to see how the Edge of Christian podcast goes. I have a feeling it'll be great.
I can't imagine it not being, like, hysterically funny. So I'm actually really looking forward to checking it out when it launches out.
Yesterday, Vince McMahon was involved in a traffic accident when his Bentley crashed into a truck. According to TMZ, something went wrong while he was driving. But Vince is fine. Don't worry. Somebody did take a picture of Vince.
I'm going to plead the fifth on this news story, and I'm not going to say my true comments. So.
Oh, come on.
Nope. Not going to do it. Not going to do it.
Come on.
Not going to do it.
Come on. You never hold back.
I'm going to hold back this time because my initial thought process when I heard this was not the nicest thing in the world. So I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be. I will DM you after the show and let you know. But honestly, my first initial response when I saw this story was not very nice, and
I think I have an idea.
Oh God!
And after the thing that happened with Jim Ross's wife tonight, I'm not going there. I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Anything to do with who? Would this have anything to do with who's next in charge?
I have nothing to say.
Based on me and Matt's past conversations, I know exactly what he's going to say.
Vince is okay though, so there you It has been announced that an old pay-per-view is getting revived for July this year. Bad Blood is going to be utilized as a pay-per-view title for the first time since 2004. If you think Bad Blood does have some kind of a familiar tone to it, yes, that's when Kane made his big debut in the Undertaker-Shawn Michaels match. Which was
I just don't care.
First ever Hell in a Cell, I think. It'll be at the XL Center, Hartford, Connecticut. Impact Wrestling announces another partnership with AAA of Mexico, arguably the biggest company in Mexico. And so Impact continues to make their own partnerships. Maybe they caught wind that Ring of Honor and WWE are teaming up. They're like, oh shit, we better do something.
Well, it's already... This company is already proving how fucking stupid they are. Because they already have a deal in place with Crash. Which is AAA's rival promotion in Mexico, and now they're forging a deal with their number one rival in AAA. It's blatantly obvious that this company doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, because all you're going to do is piss off both sides. You can't make a deal with both of them. You have to choose one. In working with both, all you're going to do is piss off both sides. This is why New Japan no longer wants to work with this company. So sad to be true. Same old new TNA, same as the old TNA, but with a much shittier owner than they had 6 months ago. And I never thought I'd say that there could be anybody worse than Dixie Carter, but Ed Nordholm totally takes the fucking cake of being the world's biggest douchebag.
Oh my god. And the final headline of the evening, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson will be hosting the season finale of SNL on May 20th, most likely to promote his appearance in the movie Baywatch coming up here this summer. So Daryl,
I want to like that movie, man, but those trailers it doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. I wanted to like it, and I've watched every trailer they've put out, and I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't. This doesn't look good. I don't know.
So Daryl's going to WrestleMania in Orlando, Florida, April 2nd, literally a week away almost. And what are your thoughts going a week out, going into the big weekend, your first big WrestleMania? What are your thoughts on the what's coming up, on the company, the things you're going to see?
Usually around this time, like I get excited. Like, I've been watching wrestling for 30-something years, so like I'm looking forward to WrestleMania, the surprises, whatnot. The only thing that's got me like still happy that I'm going is just the fact that it's my first WrestleMania. As far as the card is concerned, as a pure wrestling fan, I'm just not really that excited. I'm more excited about Takeover, access to experience WrestleCon, stuff like that. But the whole meaning is because it's WrestleMania, and like I was saying earlier before, the card, it's just not great booking. Like, I understand like WWE is supposed to appeal to, to children, but you have fans of all ages, so you have to, with anything, appease your fans with your product, and it doesn't matter how old they are. Like I said, I don't want to see Shane die again. The whole Undertaker and Roman thing, I'm just like, been an Undertaker fan forever. If you're not turning Roman just full heel, why is the match going on in the first place?
No, like, I completely agree. If Roman retires the Undertaker in Orlando, you can never not call him a heel again. He's officially heel for the rest of his career. Absolutely.
And I'm just like, what's the purpose? Like, what's like WrestleMania 30 at the Superdome when he lost to Brock? What did you tell me, Matt? You said that place was just quiet. All you heard was crickets.
That was one of the loudest arenas I've ever attended at WrestleMania. Probably the loudest arena I've ever sat in live. It was magical. When that pinfall happened, you could have heard a pin drop in that arena.
Yeah, the air went completely out of it.
Absolutely stunned, silent. And that still goes to this day my favorite WrestleMania I've ever attended. It may be my favorite WrestleMania ever, just for sentimental reasons. But that moment, like, shocked the fuck out of that crowd. And that honestly is a WrestleMania moment that no one will ever forget.
So imagine if a wrestler that was being shoved down our throats by the old man to be the quote-unquote baby face, and he beats The Undertaker. Everyone loves The Undertaker. People grew up with The Undertaker, and he retires The Undertaker. Imagine what will happen in that stadium to those fans. You want to pretty much... The one thing that WrestleMania 30 had was the fact that DB was winning the title, and that's the only thing that could have recovered The Undertaker losing. What do you have? That
wasn't even the original plan.
Right. So what do you have to bring the fans back, pull the fans back into the actual WrestleMania if The Undertaker loses to Roman Reigns?
Yeah.
What do you have? And that's the scariest.
That's what Balor's going to be there for, pal.
And I'm praying that you're correct. I'm really praying.
Like, dude, I'm telling you, right? If you do not see Finn Balor on Raw Monday night in Philly, like you're gonna have to like throw me off a building to convince me that I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I really and truly feel like this is happening. Like I feel like I have spoken this scenario into existence. And I'm dead set on this happening right now. And if we get through Raw on Philadelphia Monday night and there's no Balor, I'm honestly my hype train for WrestleMania is going to completely change, because I'm gonna be convinced that Finn Balor's leaving with that title, and I'm gonna be pretty fucking hyped about it. So
I'm actually looking forward to the women's title match minus Nia Jax.
I was gonna say so was I until they added Nia Jax to it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm just excited to be there. But in all honesty, if you ask me what I'm there for TakeOver. Just to keep it real with you.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. TakeOver is going to be awesome.
It is every time they put TakeOver on, they put on a hell of a show. And what does Triple H tell those guys? Like, you have to compete with the main show, and they overdo it. They beat the main show every time.
So
yeah,
far,
and there's even the like the last two ones, people are like, "Oh, I don't know, this card doesn't look that great. This might be the time WWE's main show does better than NXT," and every time they don't, you know. So I feel like this is going to be no different. Like they're just going to freaking blow the roof off again, and they're going to say top this, and WWE's not going to be able to.
Yeah, and right now the TakeOver Orlando card has got 4 on there, so room for probably 1 or 2 more.
I figure they got to give Cassius Ohno a match.
Rude Nakamura. I mean, that's going to be explain itself there. Asuka and Ember Moon is going to be amazing. The triple threat for the tag is going to be amazing. And then they just added tonight the debut of Aleister Black, who was better known as Tommy End. He will make his debut against Andrade Cien Almas. So already a stacked card. I bet you can add a 6-man Texas Tornado match between Sanity and Strong, Jose, and Dillinger. I bet
why wouldn't it be 8 men with the women involved now?
You could do an 8-man now with Nikki Cross, and then the debuting Ruby Riott.
Yeah, you know what I'd love to see on this show? Just for the simple fact that the match would be fucking sick. Give us Cassius Ohno against Hideo Itami.
Whew.
I'm telling, dude, you don't need a build up for that. Just sign the damn match and put them in the ring to start the show, and you're starting that damn show off the right way.
Is he ready? He's going to be ready by then?
Yeah, Hideo's been working the house
in
Florida for like the last 2 weeks. He's good to go.
That would be amazing.
You're damn right.
Yeah, I think TakeOver is going to outshine WrestleMania again. The tag match for Raw has been kind of, it's been just there. I think it's going to be Enzo and Cass's big moment. The Cruiserweight title is going to be one of the most exciting ones, I think, with Neville and Austin Aries.
That's the match I'm most looking forward to on the card.
The SmackDown Women's Title match. That'll be interesting because it's so wide open. We don't even know what kind of match it is yet.
I'm still hearing Battle Royal.
Rumors are Kelly and Victoria are going to join in. Obviously,
I just want Eva Marie back. Damn it.
That'd be great. We've obviously talked how disappointed we are with how the women are booked on Raw. So.
I was honestly really looking forward to that triple threat match until they added Nia Jax to it. Like, if they had to make it a fatal four-way, I wish they would have added Dana Brooke in instead.
Yeah, that would have made a lot of sense.
And Dana Brooke actually got crowd support in Detroit. They were behind her. They were ready, they
chanted her name.
To make this a big deal, and they fucked it up. Just unbelievable how stupid this company can be sometimes.
The build to the mixed tag match has been great. Obviously, Cena and Nikki are going to win, and Cena's going to propose. I think there's a gambling site that has it at 2-9. So you got to bet $9 to win 2 back that he's going to propose. But John's taking time off. You never know. Maybe they put Miz and Maurice over. So there's still kind of a.
There's no fucking way Cena and Nikki aren't winning this match. There's no way. I'd bet my fucking house on Cena and Nikki winning that match.
The secondary titles have been pretty decent. Jericho and Owens obviously has been great. Corbin and Ambrose has been a good feud too, I think. We already talked about Taker and Roman. Shane and AJ talked about that too. So then we got the 2 part-timers closing the show, and then the other title is Wyatt Norton. So I think we're going to get ourselves a good show here, but it's not going to be a WrestleMania caliber. But of course,
that's the problem. It doesn't feel like WrestleMania.
It doesn't. And the funny thing, I realized you mentioned earlier that Sammy doesn't have a match, Joe doesn't have a match, but
Braun Strowman doesn't have a match.
Luke Harper doesn't have a match.
Nope.
It's just there's so many people that are left off this card right now. That
12
head scratching.
12 matches. 12 matches on the card announced so far. That was exactly how many matches they had last year with the pre-show stuff. That's including pre-show. They had 12 matches. So, God, who knows, man? Maybe Joe wins the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Who knows? I mean, Jesus, it's up for grabs.
If Strowman's in that match, they have to let him win. But after Big Show got dicked over by Shaq. Like, I feel like they should find something else for Strowman and let Big Show win the damn thing again.
Oh yeah.
Fucking Shaq dicked that dude over, man.
Yeah. I think I might have said that on the Lost episode.
I can't believe
last week.
Yeah, and I believe I said it on there. I've never. Anybody who listens to me on this show knows I've never felt bad for the Big Show. But damn it, I feel bad for the Big Show right now. He got screwed.
NXT this week kicked off with an amazing match between Ani Lorcan and Andrade Cien Almas. This was a hard hitter. Crowd got into it towards the end and absolutely loved it. I think eventually if they flesh some things out with Ani, they got themselves possibly a star. I don't know, Matt. Do you feel like he would be better as a tag as opposed to on his own, or?
I don't know. I'm not sold on Andrade at all yet.
No, I'm talking about Ani Lorcan.
Ani Lorcan, I'm not sold on him either. Honestly, I kind of
loves him.
I kind of zoned out during this match. It
was a good match, though.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I saw maybe 5 seconds of it. I did not care about either competitor, and it is what it is.
DIY cut a pretty badass promo after that. And then they showed another video package for Aleister Black. Asuka took on Angel Rose. That didn't last too long. Dawson and Wilder from the Revival, they cut a promo as well. And next week we're going to have a triple threat match between a member from each of those 3 tag teams, with Wilder, Gargano, and Akam taking each other on for that one. Then they did a little bit of a hype thing for Bobby Roode and Nakamura's match. Then that led to our they did another promo for the 6-man tag match that's coming up later on. And then Cassius Ohno is interviewed after his match against Bobby Roode and asked about what was next. And Ohno said that he didn't anticipate things starting this way. And then all of a sudden, we hear the guitar of Elias Sampson appear as he's playing a tune for Ohno. And this will make Matt happy. Loser leaves NXT match next week between Ohno and Sampson. Gee, who's winning that one?
I can already tell you who won it.
And the main event, No Way Jose, Roddy Strong, and Ty Dillinger took on Sanity. This ended in a no contest. I kind of thought it was leading that way because I figured this would carry over to TakeOver, and it did. And of course, we saw the debut of Ruby Riott to even up the odds at 4 apiece to counter Nikki Cross. Impact Wrestling. Did you catch it this week, Matt?
I DVR'd the hell out of it. I kind of just like zoomed through it real quick. Honestly, I'm so disgusted with the management of the company right now that I have no interest in talking about it or covering it as long as they're doing the bullshit shady tactics that they're doing right now.
Yeah.
It
was a step back from last week for sure.
Here's the problem. They claim that they wanted to bring all the wrestling fans back, that they lost all the wrestling fans. And then what do? They target their most popular act for last year's calendar year, which is probably the only reason they were still in business at the point for Anthem to be able to buy them. And they look like the biggest assholes in the wrestling industry right now. So as far as I'm concerned, fuck TNA, fuck that Al. And, I've never wanted to see a company go bankrupt until now. Like, I literally want to see WWE and the Hardys take these fuckers to court and break them penniless. And, I will love every fucking second of it.
The highlight of the night was EC3 taking on Alberto El Patron. That was a hell of a match. Apparently, we got somebody else now taking the role of Suicide, and the X Division is still not interesting. And then we had a bunch of tag teams come out at the end of the show. The biggest surprise was that LAX, of course, a staple of TNA a long time ago, Homicide and Conan have made their return, and a few other people joined them as well. So LAX has made.
Without Supermax, man.
Yeah, I know.
When Hernandez back, maybe I'll give a shit.
Yeah. So, I in my opinion, I think Impact was a huge step back this week compared to the last week's show. I thought last week's show was really good. This was a huge step back tonight. Monday Night Raw this week. We are live from Brooklyn, and we start out the show with what we basically expected: Mick Foley getting fired. Foley was reading a piece of paper that Triple H handed it to him, and then after he read all that, he kind of got all pissed off and said, "I'm Mick Foley, damn it!" And his microphone got cut off many times before Stephanie McMahon came out and talked down to Mick Foley, and then used her dad's words, "You're fired." And in a surprise, Sami Zayn's music hits, and he comes out and all of a sudden a CM Punk chant starts for whatever reason. I was kind of surprised Zayn was put into this part here, Matt. Were you kind of surprised when you heard his music?
I don't know if I was surprised, but I was kind of just like meh.
Meh TNA.
Yeah, meh TNA. I was just kind of honest to God. I did not focus on Raw very much this week. Like it was on. I was watching, but I was also reading Justin Roberts' book at the same time. And, his book held my interest more than Raw did. So, oopsie.
Yeah.
Sorry, WWE, when your product a week and a half away from WrestleMania can't hold my interest more than a book for somebody who used to work for your company can. But, that's probably something wrong with your creative.
And a guy that absolutely loved the business, too, so to speak. That'd be a guy by the name of Justin Roberts who loved the business like no other. So it was a shame when he was let go. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten picked up elsewhere, but...
I'd love to get him here and talk to him after I'm done with the book.
Daryl, what were your thoughts on the Mick Foley firing segment?
Yeah, I was surprised. I was just as surprised about putting Sammy in that spot. It
was a big spot.
Yeah, only to feed him to Joe.
Yeah. It turned into a good 12-minute match between Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn, but obviously predictable, as eventually Joe caught Sammy in the Coquina clutch. But there were some great spots in that match, and you wonder if they do go back to a rematch here, even though I don't think WrestleMania should be a card of rematches, but yet there's a couple already set up here. Plus, who knows what happens with the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. What they do with Alpha, if they do a rematch at WrestleMania, who knows? I'd love the open challenge and the Hardys answering it. That would be a little bit of an epic moment for WrestleMania. But yeah, a decent match, though, between Joe and Zayn. So if you give these guys a 15-minute WrestleMania match, I'm not going to complain, Matt, would you?
No, I wouldn't. I think, as I said, I think they both deserve to be on the show. And I did pay attention to that match on Raw. That for as much as I didn't pay attention on Monday, I did pay attention to that match. And I actually thought their match on Raw was better than their match at Fastlane.
Yeah.
So if they want to do it again, I don't have a problem with it. But I mean, it's kind of redundant at the point where you're going to put Joe over Zayn 3 times in a row. I really feel like I keep hearing that they're going to be trading off some talent after WrestleMania between Raw and SmackDown. I think Sami Zayn needs to go to the Blue Brand in the worst way.
How they may do a Sammy for AJ trade, something like that.
Well, AJ is fired, so
is he really?
I don't know. They still haven't. Last I checked, he was still on the alumni page on WWE.com. So
last I checked, he opened up SmackDown Live. So
I'm just saying.
They show Foley saying goodbyes. Foley thanks Zayn for what he said, and Foley gave Sammy a hug, and Zayn said, they say never to meet your heroes, but he's glad he met his. Shook Foley's hand, and Foley's walking down the hall. He runs into Cesaro and Sheamus. They give him hugs and say thank you for believing in them. And I'm amazed they're still a tag team, and I'm glad they're still a tag team. I think they're a good duo. But of course, that was all Foley's doing as a result of first putting him in a best of 7 match and then putting him in as a tag team, which eventually dethroned the New Day. And then finally, as he's continuing to walk past some of the cruiserweights, he runs into Bayley, who gives Foley a big hug. And then there's Triple H saying, "Have a nice day." Thanks, Trips. They did an interview with a doctor in Alabama that was treating Seth Rollins. His name was Kevin Wilk, and basically they paid him to go on camera and lie about Seth Rollins' injury.
Ouch.
Which, well, isn't that the truth?
Well, sad but true.
Charlotte took on Dana Brooke. Unfortunately, this only went about 3 minutes. But I still think Brooke is still not... They should have never brought her up. I think they should have kept her in NXT. She didn't look smooth at a couple times here. And then, of course, we got a "We Want Paige" chant during this match. Go figure. Stephanie McMahon continuing to wreak havoc on anybody that loved Mick Foley. She told Nia Jax is taking you on, Bayley, in a no DQ match, and if Jax wins, she's in the women's title match at WrestleMania. Matt, I can assume you groaned when you heard that, right?
Oh, I most certainly did. I was not a happy camper. So Not happening.
A great highlight of the night was the highlight reel hosted by your none other than Chris Jericho. His guest was the real Kevin Owens, and Chris Jericho shared a picture of a 16-year-old Kevin Owens doing the Y2J pose in a Y2J shirt. Jericho wondered who the chesty blonde on the poster was. And Jericho's, well, in the end, Owens is just a fan of Jericho. He was marking out, man. Jericho showed a DM message between him and Owens where Owens was asking for advice and such. And, basically just some stuff to kind of dig at Kevin Owens. And Chris Jericho then started to do his Ayatollah Rock and Rolla and all that fun stuff. Threw out some stupid idiot chants out there, and also busted out the list of Jericho. But then Samoa Joe comes to the ring. All of the Samoa Joe was a decoy, because then Kevin Owens attacked Jericho from behind. And then he had the audacity to rip up the list of Jericho, which started an asshole chant. Oh, the asshole chants. I miss those. Daryl, what'd you think of the highlight reel segment with Jericho here?
Oh, classic Jericho. The Jericho I grew up with.
Yeah.
Perfect. Like, I just like how they're setting up that match. I mean, you know what the result's going to be, obviously, but they're just doing pretty. I like them together. They mesh very well together, whether they're best friends or they're just mortal enemies. I love it.
Yeah, I thought this was an amazing segment. It was great that they had a picture of Owens at 16 doing the Jericho pose. That just played into it all. Matt, did you enjoy this segment here?
Yeah, I mean, it was like Daryl said, it's vintage Chris and Kevin. They've been absolutely perfect for each other for the last year. It's going to culminate in the match at WrestleMania, which I fully expect Kevin Owens to win. But I think everything's been done fantastic. I wish this match was for the Universal Championship, but it's not. So, it is what it is.
Brian Kendrick took on TJ Perkins. That lasted all of 2 minutes. I missed it because I was actually watching Dancing with the Stars. Yes, I was watching David Ross from the Chicago Cubs. And apparently I didn't miss much because it was a 2-minute match. Then Kendrick said he stole Tozawa's passport because, Tozawa goes to Japan every week, apparently. I don't know.
The whole thing made no sense.
Yeah, Logic, yay. They're showing some video packages of Goldberg to just remind you that Goldberg or Lesnar are not on the show this week. Back to what we're talking about, the lackluster build in the road to WrestleMania. Matt, do you think they're just putting all their eggs into one big fucking basket next week? Is it come to this where creative has nothing they can do except put all the eggs into one basket the week before WrestleMania?
Well, fucking A, they got to get me hyped some way, so if they want to throw all the eggs in the goddamn basket and throw it against the wall, let them. I want to be excited after Raw in Philadelphia. I want to actually be excited about WrestleMania, and right now I'm not. So I really and truly hope that Raw this Monday in Philly leaves me like super hyped for WrestleMania that Sunday. And that's all I can hope for is they did, just like you said, they have all their eggs in one basket and they're going to unload them all this Monday. And I really hope they do. Because right now I'm just looking for a reason to be excited because fucking A, I'm a wrestling fan and I want to be excited. I know there's some people like, why can't you just be positive? I mean, it's hard to be positive when I've been a wrestling fan for 30 plus years, and this is the first WrestleMania in forever that I'm legitimately not hyped and looking forward to. That's not my fault. That's creative's fault. And, by just being excited like some of these people are, you're not doing yourself any favors and you're not going to help the product improve by, just kissing WWE's ass every year and, accepting what they feed you. So, yeah, I want to be excited for WrestleMania, and I hope they make me excited this Monday, but I'll be perfectly blunt with you. I'm not expecting them to. But I'm hoping they do.
You know who thinks that they hope that who really hopes that they put all their eggs in one basket for Monday and Tuesday next week. Oh, that'd be Daryl.
Yeah.
He's going to Orlando.
That and my bank account will be looking forward to that.
Oh yeah. Oh, my bank account was. Oh, when we got to Ring of Honor. Oh yeah, my bank account was really smiling.
It's gonna hit you hard, dude. Your bank account's gonna take quite a hit WrestleMania
well,
weekend.
Luckily,
it just happens.
I was like, I want to meet these guys. Oh yeah, I want to meet these guys.
Well,
I want to meet these guys.
I did for WrestleCon. Like I actually pre-ordered certain people like the Hardys and Edge and Christian. So I already paid for those guys a while back. So I'm pretty good with it. And then I actually saved up some money to take down there, so I'm not dipping too far into the wallet. So hopefully I should be good. Please Jesus, maybe.
It's just it's one thing after another with events like this. You think you're good, and then things just pile up and things get out of control, and you're just like, damn, look at all that money I spent. And that's kind of like WrestleMania weekend in a nutshell. So.
Yeah, it's to be expected. I guess the biggest analogy that I can think of for the actual WrestleMania show, for me, it's pretty much like a little kid looking forward to Christmas, knowing damn well he's not going to get anything.
Big old sack of coal.
Right.
Yeah,
that's just how I feel.
And I'm not talking Michael Cole either.
Look, I just got to tell you, if you would have waited and you'd have gone to New Orleans next year, I probably would have went with you. Just because it's New Orleans and I had a blast there during WrestleMania 30. But best of luck in Orlando, man. I want you to have fun. I want to be wrong about this show, and I want them to blow me away. But, man, I'm just not hyped right now.
I know. I totally agree. Like I said, I'm going because it's supposed to be WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So if you give me, let's just say, that one Balor moment and another surprise, I'll be content. I'll be happy.
I really feel if they give everybody the Balor title win and the Hardys return, that a lot of people are going to be able to forgive a lot of other stuff on the show, and they'll just overlook it.
If I hear a piano playing. At any point in the show, I might not have a voice to record the post show because I'll be screaming so much, seeing broken Hardys. TM.
Could you see an absolute arena of that size in Orlando all doing the wave delete motion? It would be
80,000 people.
Magical.
80,000 people. Delete. Oh.
I really hope it happens. Like, WWE seriously could save face by just giving us some really cool ass surprises
those
in a week and a half, and I'm really hoping
those two things. That's all I'm looking for. Just two things. The whole show can be shitty, and just give me two things. That's all.
Out of the whole 35-hour show, two things. Nia Jax took on Bayley in a no DQ match. It was the crowd didn't care.
You know what? This booking sucked ass.
Yeah.
Because not only the fact that it was that Nia Jax won, the fact that it was no DQ. And let's just speak creatively logical for a second.
You can't do that.
If you're Charlotte and you're Sasha Banks and you see that there's a chance that the fat cow that can't work is going to ruin your WrestleMania match in Orlando. Wouldn't you go out and help Bayley in 3-on-1, beat this bitch down, and make sure Bayley wins the match?
You won't say what you were going to say about Vince.
Huh?
You say this, but you would not say what you were going to say.
No, because what I was going to say about Vince was 100 times worse than what I just said about Nia Jax. There's no reason why. When they made it no DQ, I'm like, well, maybe Sasha and Charlotte will get involved and they'll keep her out of the match.
Yeah,
there was literally no reason to make this a no DQ match because it made Charlotte and Sasha look like a couple of dopes for not getting involved and keeping Nia Jax out.
Yeah. They showed a video package for Women's History Month with Mae Young. That was pretty good there. Triple H had a interview with Michael Cole in the ring. Matt, what were your thoughts on Triple H's promo here?
My problem is anytime Triple H is on Raw this month, I'm just waiting for Finn Balor to come out. And I know that's wrong, and that's not what I should be looking to. And I love me some Triple H. But literally every time Triple H has been on Raw this month, I've been waiting to hear the Finn Balor music hit. And there's honest to God even no reason for him to. There's no reason for Finn Balor to confront Triple H. Like, they have absolutely no heat story whatsoever. But like, for some reason, every time Triple H is out there, my mind goes to waiting for Finn Balor to come out, and it doesn't happen. And I'm just like, grumble, grumble, grumble.
Well, you do have a little bit of logic to think that, because Balor was on the other side when in the 6-man tag at New York City.
Yeah, so. But those were just house show loops. They're not like there's no storyline heat between Finn Balor and Triple H.
I know what you're saying.
What benefit is it of Finn Balor to return to the company and immediately target the Authority? To me,
they didn't screw him out of the title.
Exactly,
he won. He was the first winner of it.
So that's why, like, in what my hopes don't make any sense. But I'm still bummed out nonetheless every time that there's a segment that I think could produce Finn Balor and it doesn't happen. But at the same token, I've said every time it doesn't happen, I reverse the coin and hype myself up that this WrestleMania 9 scenario is going to happen. Yeah. And I'm telling you, man, we're going to have a really fun post-game WrestleMania show if Finn Balor wins that fucking title in Orlando, dude.
If we have a show, because I might not be able to speak if all this stuff happens. I mean, seriously.
Well, there'll just be a one-sided conversation again. We'll release it this time.
Yeah, I thought the Triple H promo was good with Michael Cole. I thought it was solid, and it got around to the point eventually that Triple H is going to set up a contract to have a non-sanctioned match, so he is held cleared of anything of what he does to Seth Rollins. That contract signing is going to be next week on Raw.
Did you see the Daniel Bryan tweet on Tuesday?
I did not.
WWE, the Creative Humor account, tweeted, so about that Hold Harmless account, Daniel Bryan, and he retweeted it and said, Clearly, you know, like, if this was not storyline, if Daniel Bryan could sign one of those, like, quote-unquote agreements that didn't exist, you know damn well he would. Which makes the storyline just ridiculously silly, because WWE would never put one of their talents in danger. Like, the second I saw him get hit in the brace with that crutch, I knew he was good to go for Mania. There wasn't a doubt in my mind. You don't take that risk with a talent that's recovering from an injury if he's not good to go. You know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't slap a crutch on the knee if he's not gonna.
I honestly think that's the only thing that I'm looking forward to for Raw Monday. To be honest with you, just how that contract signing is going to go.
Yeah, I could give two.
Well, you're not looking forward to Brock Lesnar and Goldberg playing tug of war with the title at the end in Philly.
No, because if I see Brock F5 Goldberg on Monday and he holds onto that and does not drop the title, I'm going to just scream.
Oh god! I hope they do another tug of war like they did with Roman Reigns and Brock.
That's what I was just joking about.
I know,
and I hope they don't. I think honestly, what we see in that final stare down on Raw will tell a lot about how that match is going to go on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm still aside from WrestleMania 9. I'm gonna just think that doesn't happen, and I'm gonna say Goldberg wins and he retires on Raw. I don't think I'm gonna change my mind on that. But like Matt just said, Monday might do something there, might change my mind. I don't know. A great Snickers commercial with Sheamus getting out of a tanning bed all burned up, and Ric Flair was there, and I thought that was kind of funny. And
all those Snickers commercials have been great.
Yeah, and Sheamus does a pretty good woo too, by the way.
Dancing Rusev, Miz in the limo with the bomb. You know, they've all been really funny. There's another one that's like escaping me right now that I can't remember. But they've all been.
Let's talk more logic in the WWE. Obviously, Sheamus and Cesaro were Mick Foley sympathizers, so they got put in a 2-on-4 handicap match, and if they lose, they are out of the triple threat match at WrestleMania. So, yeah, Big Cass and Enzo had to team up with the club.
Chad Too Bad and Tex Ferguson.
That lasted all of about a minute before the club and Enzo and Cass got into it.
They got into it even before the bell rang.
Yeah, it's like, seriously, you want this to be a triple threat? Okay. Just in the same vein of the women. It's like, seriously.
Jabba's.
The New Day is up next, and Big E starts with asking Xavier if there's anything he wants to talk about. Yeah, he was involved in the
clearly that was a pre-tape.
And
it was the smartest thing. It was the smartest thing they could have done. They kept them off. Yeah. They kept them away from the live crowd. They did the pre-tape. They poked fun at the situation without being too obvious for somebody who didn't know what they were talking about, and they moved on from it. They did the best they could with that situation. I really don't think they could have. I will give WWE credit on that. I don't think they could have handled that any better than they did.
Yeah, and word is there is no backstage repercussions that are going to happen to Paige as a result or anything like that.
Like you really going to punish someone for getting hacked? Like, to me,
yeah, exactly.
It's just ridiculous.
Exactly. The Cruiserweight division, they made up for the first match going so short. They actually gave Aries and Tony Nese 7 minutes, so that was good. Pretty decent match with those guys. More Goldberg Lesnar stuff. Yay. This is basically a 3-hour infomercial for.
I would be so much more excited about this match if the title wasn't involved.
Yep.
Like, I really would. Like, the title ruins this match.
Then, what continues the theory that this may be a triple threat match? Reigns and Strowman close the show. Undertaker shows up, stares down Roman Reigns in the ring, and then Strowman went for Taker. Taker chokeslams Strowman. So,
dude, Taker looked to be in such pain just from delivering that chokeslam.
Yeah, he grimaced like it.
Yeah, he grimaced when he turned around to take the spear.
Yeah, I heard he was in bad shape at Raw on Monday, and apparently he was not in a good mood.
They need to
put Braun in this damn match and let Taker take as few spots as humanly possible, and just let Taker do his greatest hit spots, and leave Reigns and Strowman to do the heavy lifting. Vince is making the biggest mistake he possibly could by putting a really hurt old Undertaker in the ring with a guy that moves as fast as Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns doesn't know how to work a slow match. Braun and Undertaker 101 would have been better because they could have done the slow, methodical storytelling match. But Roman
can still be a good match with the proof of him and the Big Show.
Roman only works one speed, and it's full speed ahead. Roman's a very fast-paced wrestler. He might be big, but he's fast. And the way Taker looked at the Rumble and the way Taker looked at Raw on Monday, I'm really worried for his health. That he's going to come out of WrestleMania next week in really worse for wear shape. The smartest thing they could do would be to add Strowman on Monday in Philly. And if they don't, I really fear I actually fear more for Undertaker's well-being than I do for Shane's.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there. 205 Live this week. If you haven't watched it yet, go watch TJ Perkins and Tony Nese. That was a killer match between those guys.
Dude, forget that match. You want to see something on 205 Live, go out of your way to see Mustafa Ali and Neville tear the motherfucking house down.
That was on 205
Live. That match blew me away. That was fucking phenomenal. I just have to put the match over again. I loved that match, and I didn't think I was going to. I figured it was just going to be a Neville squash, and they blew me away.
Well, Ali's been impressing lately. He's been getting a more prominent role, so I think this is going to continue to do that for damn sure. And we had Akira Tozawa show up for a match. Bell rang, German suplex. That was about it.
That was like the Divas match in 2012.
Basically. Then Kendrick was dressed as a security guy and attacked Tozawa. Gallagher and Rich Swann are both dressed like a fancy gentleman. And apparently someone bought some lingerie for Fox. And Dar says he wants this to stop. I still don't know. I still think it's Lince Dorado or Grand Metalik, one of those two.
Yeah, I don't think it's anybody that they're featuring right now. I think it's somebody else, but I don't know who. I don't know who it's going to end up being.
Austin Aries gives a kid on the rail a banana peel. Granted, I would be marking out if I got a banana peel from Austin Aries, but that was just weird.
You're such a mark.
Aries did an interview with himself before the King of the Cruiserweights came to piss on the Cheerios. Aries says he's going to join commentary for the main event between Neville and Mustafa Ali, and we all cheered. But Aries was not quite himself on commentary because, of course, he was focusing on the match, but still great nonetheless. But then we get to our main event.
I think he was in the one who had to be with Tom Phillips instead of Morrow.
Yeah, that too. And then, of course, the main event, Neville, Mustafa Ali, phenomenal. So great match to open the show and a great match to close the show. This got the crowd. I mean, the crowd was dead for most of 205 Live. This got this is awesome chant. This got everything. This woke the crowd up basically at the end of the show. So props to those guys. And like I said, I think Mustafa Ali definitely someone on the rise.
I'm a believer after Tuesday for sure. Like, I was a big fan of his finisher, but like I didn't know like his overall body of work, like how good he would be in a long pace match. But that match with Neville sold me, dude. And Mustafa Ali's the truth.
We wrap things up with SmackDown Live. AJ Styles says, "Well, I'm going to start this off the way I started off last week and take to the ring and say what I got to say." Styles must be excited that he's got a WrestleMania match because he's wearing all the WrestleMania gear.
It was kind of funny.
Yeah. Basically, and guess what? Shane's late again for work, Matt. God. Somebody in HR's got to have a talk.
Motherfucker works one day a week and he can't be on time to his damn show. Like what the hell? It's ridiculous.
They got to have a little talk. HR's got to have a little talk. Brian is on the phone talking to someone, and sounds like he was talking to Shane, and said, "Well, that sounds like a good idea. We'll talk to you later." So, probably talking about how they're going to swerve AJ later. Baron Corbin comes walking in, wondering where Dean Ambrose is, and Brian says, "We haven't seen him since you pinned him under a forklift." But, so Corbin's like, "Cool, I got the night off, so I'm going to go play some blackjack." But he's like, "No, you got to take Randy Orton on later." They show Rob Gronkowski doing Rob Gronkowski things at ringside. You put Rob Gronkowski at ringside, he's at the show, and you don't put Mojo on the show?
Yeah, I thought that was beyond ridiculous. Like, as soon as I saw him, I'm like, well, I guess Mojo's wrestling next. Yeah, and then Mojo never even came out. I'm like, wow, that was a completely wasted opportunity.
Yeah, a big old celebration at the end.
Yeah, bad booking on WWE's part there. Like, did you guys notice that all week on both Raw and SmackDown, nobody mentioned the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal?
You're right.
I thought that was very interesting. They had a couple people announce their entry the week before, and this week, not a peep about that match from anybody. Like, I found that to be very, very odd.
Well, Triple H was on ESPN today, and they brought up the Shaq thing, and so it's like it almost sounds like this could still happen. I don't know how now, but
dude, like in this short, like unless you're bringing Shaq in to Raw at Philly, like I don't know how you do that match at this point without any hype. You got to get the media hype behind it, because that's why you do matches like this in the first place, right, to get the media attention on your show. So if you can't get Shaq to Philadelphia on Monday to confront the Big Show, like, I can't even see how this match could even come close to taking place.
Yeah. It won't die, though.
I do, because everybody expected it to happen. They pretty much told us a year ago we were getting it, and now we're not. It's kind of sucks.
Next up, the SmackDown Tag Team titles. American Alpha took on the Usos. Daryl, what were your thoughts on this Tag Team Championship match?
That was a hell of a match. I really enjoyed it. Both teams put on a hell of a show, and I actually liked the fact that the Usos won the title. I mean, the tag team division has been so, what's the word I'm looking for, stale since Zack Ryder went down. But
they kind of forgot it existed.
Right. So that, I mean, like, for the most part, if you go into Mania with the Usos having the titles, and you let the baby faces, American Alpha win the match, that can help them at Mania and help their stardom.
Yeah, Matt, what were your thoughts on that tag team title match?
I thought the match was pretty solid for the most part. I like the false finishes. I wish the Usos would stop copying famous Ring of Honor tag teams, and I think they might have to if WWE buys Sinclair out. I think Vince is going to be like, "You've been copying off these people the whole fucking time. Get your own gimmick, damn it! You're Samoan." I just feel like, for fuck's sake,
Samoan thing. Like,
first you're the second-rate Young Bucks, now you're the second-rate Briscoe brothers. Like, for fuck's sakes, Usos, just come up with an original idea. I'm begging you. Like I said, the match was fine for what it was. They caught me on two false finishes from both sides, so I thought the match was over. And I thought the finish was kind of weak compared to all the false finishes they were kicked out. Like, I think they won off a super kick, and I was just like, that was kind of like a meh finish to a really great match. But yeah, honestly, if this leads to the Hardys coming in and taking the tag titles from them in a week and a half, I'm not going to complain about it at all.
Well, yeah, Jordan got low blowed and then ate the super kick, so I got some distraction.
Like the entire match was really good. I felt the finish. I felt the finish was a little flat, but I'll never complain about a title change on Raw or SmackDown television. I think it needs to be done more, to be quite honest with you.
I think it was just the fact that they wanted to figure something out to get the Usos a cheap win. Because, interesting enough, there were Uso chants that were throughout the arena too at the Mohegan Sun.
I didn't hear any.
There was a couple of Uso chants going on. Luke Harper cut a promo. He said how he has seen what Sister Abigail can do, and claimed that a new evil roams the earth in Wyatt. And Harper will take on Harper said he'll face Wyatt next week.
Which so sucks for Harper. She's just going to job yet again to Bray Wyatt on the road to WrestleMania. And somebody, like, I would have enjoyed this storyline so much more if they, like, when Shane restarted the match the first time with Harper and AJ, and they should have just let Harper win the match at that point. And they would have had a legitimate reason why AJ was pissed at Shane, because he legitimately cost him his match by restarting it. And then they could have had Orton be like, "Oh, with Harper in there, I think I need to be in that match. I think I need to utilize my Rumble win to protect you, Bray, and make sure you don't lose that championship." And then they could have had Randy turn on Bray at WrestleMania in the triple threat match.
That's exactly how I said.
A lot better than what
they made more sense.
Yeah, that's exactly how I said it was how I thought it was gonna play out a month ago on the show.
It's totally the way they should have done it.
Yeah, the turn wasn't gonna happen until WrestleMania, and he was gonna watch his back, and ended up stabbing it. Next up, Total Bella's bullshit.
So fucking good.
Oh my god, these are great. Maurice playing both the role of Nikki and Brie. Give her an Academy Award. That was awesome. Miz dressed up in full John Cena gear. He's got that stuff in his closet. Don't lie, Miz. Miz is talking about all the rules that Brie and Nikki have broken in his house. Making fun of the Total Bellas thing. And of course, then all these teasing things that Cena was getting ready to propose to Nikki, of course. But it did turn out that he was doing other things. Matt, what were your thoughts on Total Bella's bullshit?
I thought it was hysterical. I thought Maurice looked better in Nikki's gear than Nikki does. I haven't laughed that hard at a on-air WWE skit like on a Raw or SmackDown in a long time. And I thought Miz and Maurice nailed it. I thought it was fantastic, and they said to be continued. Like, so I'm expecting this. We're going to get more of this next week, and yep. I can't wait to see what they do. I think it's going to be good times.
Yeah, there's another one coming up later on, but next we have Baron Corbin and Randy Orton. First time they've ever taken each other on in the ring. I thought it was a fairly decent match for these guys in the first time in the ring. Matt, what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, the match went exactly how I expected it to. I was like, you can't have both of these guys in the match this close to WrestleMania and have them lose clean. Like, I knew Ambrose would get involved, so I was totally okay with the finish.
And what I told Matt on Twitter as I was watching SmackDown today, I go, wow, this is random. John Cena taking on Fandango, and he goes, well, it'll make sense when you watch Southpaw Regional Wrestling.
You know damn right.
And joining Fandango was none other than Breezy Bella. Daryl, what did you think when you saw Breezy Bella for the first time?
I thought I had too many beers because I didn't know what the hell was going on. I'm sorry. Tyler Breeze is an absolute idiot. I don't know why his boobs were bigger than Nikki's. Like, that was ridiculously the craziest thing I had seen, and he pulled it off. He did it so well.
Oh my lord.
Ridiculously funny.
And Matt, later on there was a backstage video. What happened on this backstage video?
They did something for the Bella's YouTube channel, which had like a mirror stare down between Breezy Bella and Nikki Bella, and Cena came in to break it up and wanted to leave with Nikki and left with Breezy Bella. So
Breezy.
Oh my god, so good. And props to Nikki Bella for picking up Tyler Breeze and hitting her finisher on him, and then once again showing John Cena how to do an STF. Natalia joins commentary for the Becky Lynch-Carmella match, and this ended in a disqualification when Carmella attacked Becky Lynch, so that didn't last too long. Then Mickie James came out, and then Alexa Bliss came out, and so there you go. There's all the women on SmackDown Live right now. Next up is part 2 of the Total Bellas parody, and Miz saying how much he loves Nikki, like, over and over as if he's practicing it, because now they're on camera, and then there's a cue card guy saying that, standing there. Nikki said that her and Brie plan to ruin the careers of other women, and Cena said that one of his rules is to use coasters, but they don't have any friends, so who knows. Nikki said her favorite movie is The Marine. And Cena again teasing the marriage, because I got your ring, but it was a WWE toy ring. And then Cena dropped to one knee saying he wants to tie the knot, and that knot was tying his shoes. And then he did the old what they teach the kids to say to learn how to tie their shoes with the bunnies and oh my god, it was so fucking funny. I'm sure they probably Matt, I'm sure next week they probably are going to get even more personal with these parodies.
I'm okay with it. It's making me laugh. Keep it up.
Matt, what were your thoughts on the end of SmackDown with Styles and Shane McMahon?
Well, you got to make Shane look like Superman before the event. As long as Styles goes over on Mania, I'm okay with it. Whatever.
I wonder.
Dude, if Shane goes over AJ, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. I'm just telling you that right now. If Shane beats AJ, I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
It won't surprise you, though, would it?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, my Lord. Any other questions for Daryl here before we wrap things up, Matt?
Is there anything you are looking forward to that's in Orlando besides NXT?
Just the whole experience, man. Like, I actually scored a VIP ticket to meet Samoa Joe at Access, so I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
And then, just the whole experience at WrestleCon or what have you. But overall, it's kind of sad that, and I don't want to say sad because that may be too harsh, but it's just more so disappointing, shall I say, that with all the talent that WWE has, and even listening to you guys on the show from past weeks and my own creative mind, it could have been 10 times much better, with the booking. You could have did a Cena Taker, or you could have did like maybe a AJ Nakamura if you decide to bring him up. It could have been so many different ideas thrown out there to appease every fan of every age coming from all over the world to see this spectacle. So
yeah, I wanted in my the article I wrote, like if Triple H was booking, I said have the Demon and the Dead Man.
I would have enjoyed that too.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
But I'm just excited.
Daryl, thanks for joining us on Lost in the Midcard, and after WrestleMania, we'll have to have you back so we can get your thoughts on the show.
Absolutely.
And everything you did, from Ring of Honor to WrestleCon, all that. Let us know. So thanks for joining us, and that's going to do it for this edition of Lost in the Midcard. Once again, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. What you got to do, just search for Lost in the Midcard, hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new show comes your way, most Thursdays and most Mondays after a WWE pay-per-view. You can also find us on YouTube. Links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard. We're also on the Twitter at LITMC Podcast. Matt is on the Twitter at Raw Showtime. I am on the Twitter at JB Huskers. And before we wrap things up and look forward to the go-home shows, Matt, what are your final thoughts?
WrestleMania 9. WrestleMania 9.
Brother. For Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost in the Midcard. Have a good one. We'll catch you next week.